Good morning and welcome to Joyful Hatha Yoga. This will be just a little hour practice focusing on opening up our body and preparing our body for the rest of our day. And we're going to start in a seated position. So whether you choose a folded blanket to sit on or a bolster, you can sit cross-legged. You can sit with your legs out in front of you. You can also take a book or a block if you have one at home. And feel free to sit also in Virasana pose on that block. Let's go ahead and get started. So I'm going to be sitting cross-legged, and let's just take a moment to have awareness of the base of our body and letting the base of our body reach down into the floor, into the earth here. So I even like to maybe just take a moment, put your hands in front of you if you're in a cross-legged position or even the hero's pose. And just kind of let the base of your body, the sacrum, just reach right on back. Get nice and settled there, and then come back up. Notice if you're still leaning forward a little bit, or maybe you're leaning back a little, or a little from one side to the next, and just find that place resting in the center. And then letting the spine lengthen and lift out of that foundation. Letting your hands just rest on your thighs, crown of the head reaching up to the ceiling. Close your eyes and just begin to focus on your breath. Drawing the breath in through your nose, down into your belly, down into your abdomen. And then exhaling, letting the belly button fall back toward the spine. Just taking a few moments to connect in with the breath this morning. And as always, drawing awareness now into our three-part yogic breath, Dirga. So breathing into the abdomen, into the pelvis, and then into the rib cage and the collarbones, and then exhaling from that lower abdomen and then the rib cage and the collarbones. Some of you may have learned to exhale from the top down. That is fine. Just pick the rhythm that works for you. Just always inhaling into the base first. Rib cage next, collarbones next. Exhaling, belly, ribs, collarbones, or the reverse. And just continue with a steady rhythm of breath as we begin to draw awareness to our focus for today. Today is a very special day. There's a pink full moon, a very auspicious full moon. I've read it's the only supermoon of 2020. Whether that's true or not, I'm not sure. Whether you're watching this in person or you're watching this recorded later on another day, it doesn't matter. The intentions can be set anytime. It doesn't have to be during a special full moon. But continue on with this breath and take a moment as you're breathing to bring also some awareness to your heart center, to the center of your chest, the center of your being there, as you continue to breathe. And I want to begin to cultivate a little gratitude here from that heart center. So sometimes it helps to focus on someone we love or a pet that we love. Sometimes it can be as simple as thinking about this really gorgeous view from the top of a mountain that we've seen and just feeling how that fills the heart space. Taking a few breaths, just enjoying that emotion, that connection to that heart space. And from that heart space, I want you to think about your life and where you're at right now. And what would you like to see more of in your life? What's maybe a goal that you have that you would like to manifest? Maybe sometimes it can be as simple as more peace and balance in your life. Maybe you have a career goal that you're shooting for. Maybe it's as simple as healing a relationship or a past trauma within you. So taking a moment to sit with that in that space of gratitude, of love, of affection in the heart. Taking just a few moments here as you breathe to really draw awareness, more focus into that intention for your life. Great. So, with those thoughts, I want to encourage you to continue with your breath, breathing that nice Dirga breath, steady and even, in through the nose, down into the belly, ribs, collarbones, exhaling belly, ribs, and collarbones. We're going to use this breath through the rest of our practice today. We're going to start our practice here with at one Om, and then from that Om, I'm going to move right into the Gayatri mantra today. Mantras are really powerful, and this mantra I really love. I've always been drawn to it ever since I heard it in my 200-hour yoga teacher training. It's very special to me, and it's just really great for elevating our energies. I, even after I've chanted it, feel much lighter, much more clear. So just taking a moment, drawing your hands to your heart center, taking in a nice, long, deep breath, inhaling from that base all the way up to the crown of the head, and exhaling. Inhaling for one Om. Om Bhurghuva Svaha Tatsavator Varanyam Vargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat. Om Bhurghuva Svaha Tatsavator Varanyam Vargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat. Om Bhurghuva Svaha Tatsavator Varanyam Vargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat. Om. Good. Let's just release our hands and let's get ready to move right into some joint opening exercises. So let's come right up onto our mat. And if you have socks on, now's the time to take your socks off. If you have blankets on your mat, you want to just remove those to the side. Coming right into some table position. Knees under the hips, hands under the shoulders. And we're just going to do a little bit of a flow. Inhale, lifting the head and the tailbone. Exhale, press firmly into those hands with the fingers evenly spread, letting the head and tailbone release. Inhale, lifting up. And exhale, arching that back, releasing the head and tailbone. Good. Inhale, lifting up one more time. Exhale, arching the back. Good. Inhale, lift up. And then exhale with the toes curled under, press right on back to a downward dog. Releasing the heels, pressing through them. Good. And on an exhale, drop the knees down. Inhale, tops of the feet come to the floor. We're coming into hero's pose, reaching up nice and long and tall. Exhale the right hand outside of the right hip and stretch long through the left side body. Inhale up through the center. Exhaling, left hand outside of the left hip. Stretch nice and long through that side body. Inhale, reaching up. Circle the arms around and down behind you. And inhale, lift those hips up. Take a deep breath through the front of the body. Exhale, release the heels down. Inhale, swooping the arms up and forward, coming back to table. We'll do that again. Inhale, lifting the head and sits bones. Exhale, pressing up and back to your downward dog. And then inhale here. And exhale, back down into your table position. Inhale, tops of the feet come to the floor. Hero's pose, reaching up with those arms. Exhale, right hand outside of that right hip. Stretch nice and long, left side body. Inhaling, reaching up through the center. Exhaling, left hand out. Stretching long through the right. Inhaling up through the center. Exhaling the arms down behind you. Inhale, reaching and inhaling, pushing those hips up, open through the heart. Exhale the hips down. Inhale, we'll do one more round here. Hands coming to the floor. Inhale, lift the head and sits bones. Exhale, press back, Adho Mukha Savasana. Inhale here. And exhale, table. Inhale, Virasana, sweeping the arms overhead. Exhaling, right hand outside of that right hip. Inhale, up through the center. Exhaling, left hand outside of the left hip. Inhaling, up through the center. Exhaling, the arms down behind you. Inhale, press the hips up, opening front of the body. Exhale, hips down. Good. Inhale one more time, coming back to table. And then we're going to lift up and back to downward dog. Take a moment here to breathe. Let's just open the hips a little more. Putting your weight on your left foot, lift that right leg up. Try to keep your weight even in both the right and left hands. You can bend the right knee, and let that hip roll open. And then if you'd like, you can even turn your head to the left and see if you can see that right foot in the air up there. If you can't, that's okay. Push through your hands a little more. Lift those hips up and back. Open that hip up a little bit more. Good. And then release that foot down. Paddle through the heels. Keep pressing into your hands. Good. Just saying good morning to the body. Go ahead and put your weight on that right foot. Weight is equal in the hands. Lift the left leg up. Bend the knee. Roll the hip open. And breathe. And if you want to take a moment to look over that right shoulder and see if you can see that foot in the air. Breathing, press into the hands evenly. Lift hips up and back a little bit more. Remember to breathe. And go ahead and exhale. Bring that foot down. Press into your hands. Lift those hips up and back. Scoop the belly button in and up. Reaching the heels toward the floor. Release the head and neck. Good. And then go ahead and walk the feet toward the hands. And come into your first forward fold. If you want to keep a bend in your knees, feel free. Let your head and neck release. Letting go. Why don't you hold opposite elbows here too, and you can swing a little side to side. Nod your head up and down, yes. Side to side, no. So it's morning, so go slowly as you come back up. If you have any back issues, I want you to come up with a flat back And reverse swan dive up. If you have no back issues, curl the tailbone under and just roll right on up your back. Good. Coming all the way up. Nice. So we're gonna go right into a little bit of sun salutation. The first round will go a little bit slow as we begin to say hello to our body in a little deeper way. And then we'll move through with one breath per movement. If you're used to practicing with your feet together, feel free to do that. If not, feet hip width apart. Either way, pressing down through the 3 points of your feet, the mound of the big toe, the mound of the little toe, the center of the heel. Release your toes if you've lifted them to feel that. Hug your thigh muscles in, tailbone reaching down toward the floor, but not scooping under. Lifting and lengthening through the body, through the spine. Circle the shoulders here, up and back and down. And that feels so good. So let's just keep doing that a couple more times. Good. And back and up and forward. Good. And then just coming to a neutral position. Crown of the head reaching up. Taking a breath here in Samastahiti, or mountain pose of stillness. Reaching down firmly through the feet. Weight is even in both feet, not a little more in one or the other. Crown is stretching away. Deep breath in and out. Inhale, reaching those arms up nice and long, stretching long. And as we exhale our hands to our heart, Namaskarasana, just checking in with that heart center and that place of gratitude. This practice. Inhale, reaching up, palms face forward, lift up and out of the waist. And you can take a gentle back bend here this morning. As you exhale forward, think about keeping some length through the spine as you come down into Padahastasana. The back of your legs are tight, like mine almost always are in the morning. Go ahead and keep a little bend in your knees. Inhale, step back with the right foot, bring the right knee down into Ashwasanchalasana. So go ahead and stretch longer through the spine. And if you want, your fingertips can be in line with your big toe. And just breathing into the front of that right hip flexor there. Take another breath here. Good, retain that inhale as you lift the hips and step back to your plank position. Push through the heels. Tailbone is neutral, draw the shoulder blades toward the spine. Nice and strong here. And then exhale down into 8 points pose. Knees, chest, and chin come to the floor. Elbows stay in by our side. Right from there, inhale and push right on up into a cobra. It might be a little lower to start, but remember to keep the shoulders away from your ears. From here, curl the toes under. You can flow through table if you want. Going right on up into Adho Mukha Savasana, downward facing dog. Stretching nice and long. Take a moment here. This is a wider downward dog, front to back, than what we just did. Do not change the position of your feet or your hands. Stay right here in this long downward dog. Take another breath. And then we'll inhale and step that right foot forward. And bring the left knee down into Ashwasanchalasana on this side. And then just breathing a moment into the front of that left hip flexor, saying hello, lengthening through the spine. And then on an exhale, we're going to lift the hips and step right on forward into your forward fold again, Padahastasana. From here, push firmly into your feet. Think about lifting up and out of the waist as you sweep the arms right on up. Hasta Uttanasana. Palms forward, lift up and out of the waist, gentle back bend. And then exhale, forward fold. Inhale the left back, the left knee down. And retain that inhale as you step back for your nice strong plank again this morning. Exhaling knees, chest and chin. Inhale into cobra. And exhale back to downward dog. Inhaling that left foot forward. Right knee comes down. And exhale the right foot to meet the left in your forward fold. Inhale, remember we're lifting up and out of the waist almost effortlessly, coming all the way up. And exhale your hands to your heart and by your side. Good, we're gonna flow again. Inhale, arms up. Exhaling, hands to heart. Inhale, reach up, palms forward, and exhale, forward fold. Inhale that right foot back, the right knee down. Retain your breath as you step back for plank. And exhale, knees, chest, and chin. Inhale into your cobra, and exhale back into downward dog. Inhale that right foot forward. Bring the left knee down. And exhale, left foot to meet the right, forward fold. Inhale, we're sweeping right on up. Gentle back bend. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, left foot back, left knee down. Retain your breath as you step back for plank. And exhale, knees, chest, and chin. Inhaling into cobra. And exhaling back to downward dog. Inhaling, left foot. Right knee comes down. Right foot meets the left, forward fold. Inhale, sweeping up. And exhale, hands to heart and down by your side. Inhale, arms up. Exhaling, hands to heart. Inhale, reaching up, lengthening. And exhale, lengthening forward and down. Inhale that right foot back, right knee down. Retain your breath, stepping back for your plank. And exhale, knees, chest, and chin. Inhale into cobra. And exhale back to downward dog. Inhale that right foot forward. And exhaling, knee down. Inhale, step forward. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, right into forward fold. Inhale, left foot back, left knee down. Retaining the breath for plank. And exhaling, knees, chest, and chin. Inhaling into cobra. And exhaling back to downward dog. Inhaling that left foot forward, right knee down. And exhaling, right foot to meet the left, forward fold. Inhale, sweeping up. And exhale, hands to heart and by your side. Taking a moment to pause and breathe. Noticing the energy that you've generated in your body. And exhaling and softening a little more. Just taking a few more moments to breathe here. Reconnect with the breath. And finding that focus again. Where we bring the breath down into the abdomen, into the pelvis. Good. One more breath here. And then this morning, from the top of our mats, let's move right into Utthita Trikonasana. So we're going to start at the top of your mat. And you're going to step back with the right foot. And you're going to pivot that foot to be parallel with the back edge of the mat. You're going to walk your left foot over so the left heel bisects the right arch. And you're going to hug those thigh muscles in. I even like to lift my toes here and feel the mound of the big toe, the mound of the little toe, and the center of my heel. And let the toes release. Legs are strong and active. I'm not hyperextending my left knee. I'm keeping the action in my quadriceps here to keep that knee stable. I'm opening my torso and chest and hips to the side. Bring the arms up. Reach through that left hand, sliding that torso toward the top of your mat. So the hinge is here at the hip. It's not here at the waist. So keep sliding that torso forward as far as you can. What I want you to do is maintain some nice length on this left side. You don't want to collapse on that. So keep your triangle nice and open. When you feel that left side starting to collapse, that's your edge. So release the left hand down, right hand up, reaching from fingertip to fingertip. You can gaze at the floor, the horizon, or up at the upper right hand. But breathing here, keep drawing that right hip a little more open, pressing into the outer edge of that right foot, lengthening up through the side body, breathing. Good. One more breath here. And then go ahead and release up. Take your hands to your hips. I'm going to walk the left foot over to the left side of the mat and heel toe that right foot in a little bit. So we're about 3 or 4 feet distance from front to back. And we're going to turn the pelvis to face the top of the mat this time. So we were open to the long edge, now we're opening to the top of the mat, the short edge. The left foot is about hip distance from the right. The right foot's about a 30 or 40 degree angle. And drawing the left hip back. We're going to take our arms behind us. How about we hold elbows with the left arm on top? We're going to come into Parva Uttanasana. So inhaling, we're going to lengthen up through the spine. Keep that length as you exhale and hinge forward over that left leg. So we're going to be saying hello here to our hamstring. So be gentle. Release your head and neck when you find your edge. And breathe. Keep pressing into the mount of the left big toe. And it's almost like that energy draws right up through the knee and out to the outer hip, the outer left hip. So you're lifting as you push into the mount of the big toe, you're lifting up and out with that left hip. So breathing here, release the head and neck. Breathing into the back of that left leg. This is called intense flank pose in English because it is intense. Opening up those energy channels in the body, opening up the muscles. Good, and then inhale, push into that foot and lengthen that torso back up and release. We'll step forward to the front of the mat, shake your legs out. Now I change sides from the top of my mat to the other side, just so that I'm trying not to have my back to you, but you're gonna stay at the top of your mat. So from the top of your mat again, we're gonna do those 2 poses on the other side. So step back with the left foot, and then pivot to bring it parallel to the back edge of the mat. And then walk that right foot over. So the right heel bisects the left arch. If you want a little distance front to back too, a little thing to note, you should be somewhere between, if your arms are up, your ankles under your wrist. That's your built-in measurement. I'm not quite, I'm around there. So pressing down through the 3 points of your feet again, hugging the thigh muscles in so they're nice and active. Hips are opening to the side, my shoulders are opening also to the side. Bring the arms up again. Slide that torso forward toward the front, keeping that hinge at the right hip and lengthening through that right side body. Both sides of the body are totally different, so this may feel really different on the side. Release the right hand down and the left arm up, stretching long here. I'm going to reposition a little bit because I'm not in my sticky spot. Good. All right, keep breathing, gazing at the floor, the horizon, or at the upper right hand. Breathing and softening where you can, but still maintaining the integrity of this pose. Pushing into that leg, almost like an imaginary rope pulling yourself back up. We're going to take our hands to our hips, heel to that back foot in for Parva Uttanasana on this side. So left foot is at that 30 to 40 degree angle, right foot's hip distance and facing straight forward. Drawing that right hip back, left hip comes forward. Pressing through the 3 points of both feet as much as possible, so still some awareness of pushing into that back heel. Arms behind us, holding elbows, right arm is on top this time. Lengthening from your core, drawing in and up, and exhale. lengthening forward as we come into this pose. And if you find a little more tightness in your legs, you can take a little soft bend in this pose in your knee. Just breathing here, release the head and neck. And again, keep pressing into the mound of that right toe and drawing the outer right hip kind of up and back all at the same time. Releasing that head and neck and breathing here. Pressing into those feet, lifting that torso right on up. Good. And then stepping forward to the front of the mat, release the arms, shake this all out. And we're gonna do 2 more poses before we come into a balance posture too. And from these poses, we're gonna move right into the balance posture. So I'm gonna just demonstrate quickly what we're gonna do, just so you have some awareness and you can be prepared. But I'll walk you through this in a moment. So we're going to come into crescent pose, and we'll be holding this pose for a few breaths. And then we're gonna be dropping into the revolved wide angle. So you can either do this with your hands more in an upright position or with the hands in prayer position. From here, we're going to be lifting back up again and then transitioning onto our left foot for this side and coming right on up into warrior 3 pose. So you can play with a couple positions here. You can have a block for your hands in front of you and just play with lifting that right leg up, trying to keep the pelvis square. I'd rather you just focus on that today. Or you can come right into balancing stick, or you can come into warrior 3. But whichever option you choose will be up to you and your body today and where you're at. Remembering that we always want to listen to our bodies. And if you're feeling any pain in any pose, that means that you need to make a change. So coming out of that pose or modifying. That's one of the reasons I love props, blocks, and bolsters. So if you have a pile of books or a block, have that ready at the top of your mat. With our feet hip width apart, we're gonna just step back with that right foot first, coming into our crescent pose. So this is a pose, I'm gonna give just a little detail here real quickly. We want the left knee over the left heel, and don't let it fall into the inside or out. Try to keep that right over that. The right heel should be coming straight off the leg. So again, not to be in or out. Trying to have awareness of that. This is a tricky pose. This I also consider somewhat of a balance pose as well. So to stabilize your legs, there's a scissor action that's actually happening. So you're drawing your whole left leg back and the whole right leg forward. I think you can kind of see that when I do that. Lifting up and out of the waist, hands to heart. Find that external focal point, that drishti, external drishti, the floor, a few feet in front of you, or at eye level. And we're looking for steadiness in our stance. We want to really give way to our foundation. So when you feel that steadiness in that foundation, then beginning to take your pose into more of a deeper expression, raising the hands up. If you bring the hands up, reach through the fingertips, but keep the shoulders from coming up around the ears. So just taking a breath or 2 here. And I'm going to change our routine a little bit as I stand here and think about this in this pose. Let's take our hands to heart and go ahead and transition into your balance posture next. So just shifting your weight onto the left foot, taking your hands to that block in front of you if you want, lift the right leg. And press through the right heel as if you're pushing that right foot right into a wall. And then if you want, you can go ahead and come into balancing stick. I'm not feeling so steady now. So go ahead, coming into balancing stick and breathing. Good. And then releasing, bending that left knee, taking that right foot back to the floor behind you, drawing the left hip back, right hip forward, that scissor action. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale them to our heart. Twist to your left, either taking that right hand outside the left knee and that left hand behind you, or coming down deeper into this pose with the hands in prayer. Just take a breath, stretch from that back heel all the way up through the crown of the head. Inhale, lengthening. Keep the length as you twist deeper. And then exhaling to the front, lifting up. You can straighten that leg if you want. Step forward. There's a lot, so shake your leg out. Good. And from here, we will do this on the other side. So staying at the top of your mat. I'm changing sides for you. We're going to take the block again at the top of your mat if you've moved it. And then near the top of your mat, we'll step back this time with the left leg into your high lunge or crescent pose. Setting up that foundation. Left heel straight behind you. Draw the whole right leg back, whole left leg forward. Tailbone is reaching down as much as possible, so you'll feel a deeper opening in the front of that left hip flexor. Sink into those legs. Hands to heart. Find your steady breath. Gazing at the floor a few feet in front of you or at the horizon. Shoulders relaxed, jaws relaxed. Soft here as we build out of our firm foundation. Taking the arms up if you're ready. Shoulders are relaxed. Reaching through my fingertips. Breathing. Thinking about what we want to manifest as we go forward in this life. We have this moment in time to manifest whatever we want. You really do it anytime, but drawing your hands to your heart. We're going to transition under the right foot, lifting the left leg up, coming into balancing stick here, or full warrior three. And then keep pressing through that upper left heel as if you're pushing that leg into the wall. Keep pushing the right foot into the floor. Find your breath and breathe, stretching long from that heel through the crown of the head or even up through the fingers. Breathing. And then bending the right leg. Foot comes down behind you, hands to heart. Good. So it doesn't matter if you completed that to the level you think you should have. You were working where your body was at for the day. Coming into Pavarita Parsva Konasana, you're going to twist to the right. Left hand can be outside the right knee. The right hand can be behind you. Or coming into the deeper expression, left elbow outside the right knee, stretching long through the spine. Really this nice long line from the back heel, that left heel up through the spine, spiraling to the side. Deep breath in and out. Good. And then we'll rotate to face the floor. You can move your block out of the way. Stretch nice and long in plank pose. And exhaling, knees, chest, and chin to the floor. Inhaling, pushing up into a cobra again. Exhaling, drawing back to downward dog. Good. Go ahead, drop the knees wider than hips. Big toes together. Press the hips back toward the heels. Forehead to the floor. Arms can be overhead or alongside of your legs. Whichever you choose. Just pausing and breathing. Just taking another moment here. You're going to stay in child's pose just another few breaths. Just bringing awareness to where your body is right now. Noticing how it feels, if there's still some areas that feel tight. Just accepting that, but also maybe sending a little love and breath to those areas, telling them it's okay. It's okay to let go when they're ready. And just softening the jaw and the eyes and the skin, the shoulders, the area between the shoulder blades, softening a little more. The hips, sometimes I like to rock them a little side to side. And the knees, and the ankles. Taking another breath here. And exhaling. Bringing those hands underneath your shoulders and pushing your torso gently up from the floor. Okay, we're going to make our way from table. You can just swing your legs out to the side and sit back. You can grab a folded blanket here. We're going to sit on the edge of that folded blanket. And let's take a moment to come into Baddha Konasana. We're going to take our soles of our feet together. And pressing the soles of the feet together. I want you to also think about something else in this pose. I want you to think about squeezing the upper part of the leg, the thigh, towards the lower leg and the lower leg toward the thigh. Keeping that action there in the legs. I like to hold my ankles. Some of you may want to hold your feet or your toes. But just taking a moment to squeeze those legs, the upper and lower legs toward each other, lengthening through the spine here and breathing. Good. Now I want you to take your arms behind you. You can be up on your fingertips and just circle the shoulders up and back and down. Lengthen through the spine. Deep breath in here, squeezing the legs. Take a big, deep breath. Good, and another one. Good, and noticing how open you are in that front body. Try to maintain that openness as you draw the torso back up again, keeping that long. Take a deep breath in here, openness in the front of the body. Exhale as you come forward. Keeping that openness as long as you possibly can. As you come forward, lengthening that torso forward. Finding your edge. Now, we don't want to go to the deepest edge where we're feeling this huge, massive stretch or even causing any pain. Breathe into those hips. Send that breath right there. Nice deep breath. Exhaling and softening. If you're in deep enough, you can even take your elbows and rest them on your lower legs a little bit. But again, don't force this opening. Staying for a few more breaths, just encouraging the hips to open, but keeping the torso long. And then if you want to, you can, for just a few more breaths, let your head release. Letting go of the head and neck as you breathe. Lifting on an inhale the head, if you let it release, lengthening up through the spine. Now, before you touch those knees and lift them up, I want you to cup your hands under them and use your arms to lift those legs back up. Good. Now from here, let's stretch the legs right out in front of us. We're going to come into our seated forward fold. So, Paschimottanasana. Again, I like to use this idea of pushing our feet into the imaginary wall. So imagining there's a wall there. Your toes are reaching up to the ceiling. You're pushing the whole flat of that foot into that wall. Legs are straight. We want to keep our engagement in our thigh muscles. You can still stay seated on the edge of that folded blanket. And from here, lengthening up through the spine again. Take the arms overhead as you inhale. Exhale, we're going to come into our forward fold, lengthening forward, letting your hands rest wherever they want, whether they're on the floor, on your lower legs, or towards your feet. But we don't want to force this opening again. The back of the legs can be very sensitive, especially the attachments up by the pelvis. So just keep breathing here and softening. You can let your head come forward and breathing. As you breathe, I want you to imagine the torso lengthening forward more than rounding, although there definitely will be a round in your back, and that's okay. Go ahead and release. Lengthening forward, breathing and softening, but keeping those legs nice and active. Good. Next inhale, lifting that torso up. That's a really big opener for the low back too. Sweeping the arms up and around, take them down behind you. Like it there. Point your toes and lift those hips right off the ground. Take a deep breath in here. And release back down. Lots of good stuff going on here. We're going to take our feet wide. Coming into wide-legged forward fold. Now, those of you who practice regularly with me, you know this is my least favorite pose because I tend to have very tight hamstrings. And as a result, this is the pose I probably should be working on the most. But should's a bad word. So we just are going to work with our body where it is at. Everybody's body is different. I don't want you to worry about what you see anybody else doing when you watch any other videos, or maybe you're doing yoga with your friends. I want you to just be concerned with what is going on in your body. So again, we're going to keep the action in our legs, pushing the feet against that imaginary wall. Toes are reaching up. Sometimes mine even bend back a little bit, but try to have them reach up. Engagement of these thigh muscles in the lower leg as much as you can, pushing them down into the ground. And feel how that just supports your spine, just wanting to lengthen. And then bringing those arms up over your head, stretch nice and long. And again, take the arms down behind you onto your fingertips. Keep the legs nice and active. And just take a deep breath here through that front of the body again. Good, and one more deep breath in. Great, and then keeping that length coming forward, just take the hands in front of you. Thinking about that length you just created with that deep breath, walk the hands forward. And again, this is my least favorite pose, so you won't see me coming down to the floor right now. Maybe over some time I'll get there. But right now, just pausing where you begin to feel that stretch in your thighs and the back of your hamstrings there and your hips, wherever you're feeling this opening in your body. Maybe it's in your low back. Pause there with the beginning of your edge and just breathe. One of the things I really love about the practice of yin is this awareness that we focus on the body, come to our edge, and we play our edge. We don't go to the deepest edge right away. We stay there and allow the body to invite us to go deeper. So same thing here. As you breathe, we send awareness to these areas that are tight, and we encourage them to soften with that breath. As they begin to release and let go, that's the body inviting you to come in a little bit deeper. When that body invites you to come in a little deeper into your pose, you're going to find a new edge. And again, you're going to work with that edge in the same way. One more breath here. And then inhaling and lifting that torso back up, walking the hands back towards you. And one more thing here with our legs wide. Let's take our right leg, draw that into the center. Keeping the left leg nice and long, toes still lifting up. This leg is still nice and active. Take the left hand with the palm up, slide it down inside of you. This is revolved head to knee pose. We're thinking about opening our chest more open to that right side. Taking the right arm alongside of the temple as you continue to rotate. Breathing here in this revolved position. I love this pose so much because it opens up this tight muscle that tends to be tight in a lot of people in the low back, the quadratus labora. So breathing into wherever you're feeling this opening in your body. Nice deep breath. Exhaling and softening. Inhale. Exhaling. Couple more. And inhale, sweeping that right arm right on up. Okay, we're gonna cup our hand under that left leg. Draw that into center as you stretch the right leg out. And again, finding that nice balance in your base here. So feeling that you're sitting even. Taking the right hand with palm up, sliding that down the inside of that nice right leg that's nice and strong and steady, pushing that foot into the imaginary wall. Sweeping that left arm up alongside your temple as you continue to think about rotating that chest open a little more to the left. Breathing. And inhaling, coming right on back up. Good, cup the hand under that right knee, draw that back in. We're going to make our way onto our backs now and just be doing another pose here before we come into our Shavasana. So coming down onto our backs, just to complete our practice today, we're going to end with Jatara Parivartanasana. So letting your torso come to the floor, let's straighten out the right leg on the floor, keeping the left knee bent. We're going to move our hips a little bit over to the left. This is going to create space for us to roll onto that right hip in a moment. The left knee is bent. We're going to draw that over to the right, rolling onto that right hip, but keeping the left shoulder in contact with the floor. So we're not rolling up and lifting that shoulder off the floor. We're going to keep that shoulder on the floor. And so as we roll over, you can take your left toes and hook them behind the right knee to stabilize that knee. And the left arm comes off the shoulder in T position. So that's 90 degrees from the body. Lengthening through the spine, draw the tailbone down toward that right foot. You can keep looking straight up at the ceiling, or you can turn the head to the left and look at that left hand. The left palm can stay facing the ceiling or palm down, whichever feels good for your body today. Breathing in your twist. So we still want to draw that breath down into the belly, the ribs, the collarbones, exhaling the belly and the ribs and the collarbones. I love twist so much because I feel like as you breathe and you use your breath, that's a little bit more restricted in a twist. It's just nourishing the organs and the torso and the body, just kind of giving them a little bit of massage. One more breath here on this side. And exhale onto your back. Move the hips back into center. Hug the knees in, giving yourself a nice little hug. Stretching this time the left leg out on the floor, keeping the right knee bent. Move your hips a little to the right, rolling onto your left hip, guiding that right knee over to the left. Reaching the tailbone down, keeping the right shoulder on the floor. Right arm is in T position off that shoulder. Palm can be up or down. And as always, you can turn to look at that right hand if you want. In this pose, sometimes I find that I'm pushing a little bit. So notice if your shoulders are tight, and just see if you can let the shoulders relax. We don't need to have any engagement in them. Same with the neck. The neck can be relaxed, the jaw. Just breathing through your whole body here, the whole torso. Good. And then slowly roll back to your back. And you will need to hug your knees into the center. Hugging those knees, moving your hips, back in the center. Hug the knees in, circle around on your sacrum. And reverse direction of those circles. I also like to take the soles of my feet together here too, in kind of a supine bound angle. And then as I hold my feet or my ankles, just stretch long through your spine. You can feel that whole spine nice and long onto the floor on your mat, stretching from that sacrum through the crown of the head. Take a deep breath in and out. We've done a lot for hips today too. If you want to move right into a happy baby, just holding the edges of your feet, taking those knees out toward the sides, and just breathing here. Breathe into those hips. And then we're going to release the legs down, coming into your Shavasana. Now, as you come into Shavasana, I'm going to encourage you to take your feet out wide toward the edges of your mat and just flop your feet in and out. And then let the feet flop out to the side. Draw the shoulder blades underneath of you, kind of walking them underneath of you toward the spine, if you will. And then just let the hands flop open. They may roll all the way up into the sky, to the ceiling. If not, just let them roll to where they land. Don't stress over that. Rock your head a little bit side to side. Let your head come to rest in the center. Release your jaw, taking a nice deep breath. And on the exhale, wiggle your jaw, release any sound. Especially if you're practicing at home. This is such a great release. Taking another breath, we're going to do that again. Release any sound as you wiggle that jaw around. And then just letting the body come into a place of rest. In Shavasana, eyes are relaxed. Eyes are closed. You're going to continue laying in your Shavasana for a few more moments. I want you to just really focus on letting go of the breath. You don't have to think about breathing anymore. Let the body breathe its natural breath for you. Let the skin soften. Let the tongue rest gently in the top of the mouth. Teeth are slightly parted. Breathing, softening, letting the small of the back release toward the floor. Letting your natural breath just flow, maybe even forgetting about the breath at all. And as you're laying here in Shavasana, I want you to again feel that warmth of gratitude in the heart center. Remembering back to the start of class, and maybe with this pink full moon coming today, thinking about what you want to bring forward into your future. I know we're all living in a world that's totally been turned upside down right now. We are being forced to stay home, those of us who are not essential care workers. And it's such a great opportunity to slow down, to reflect, to either do things that we've always wanted to do and never found the time for, or really to do nothing. It's okay to do nothing. Because when you're doing nothing, you're actually not doing nothing. You're allowing your body to rest. You're giving your mind and spirit the space it needs. to just be. We have forgotten how to just be. So laying here for a few more moments and just bringing some beautiful awareness and intention into your path as you move forward and what you would like your life to look like going forward. And then from that place of relaxation, of intention, beginning to slowly move or stretch out of your Shavasana, maybe even rolling to your right side for a moment. Shavasana is this really amazing pose. It's actually, some people will say it's the most important pose of your practice. I love the analogy of Shavasana. It translates into corpse pose, and corpse pose doesn't have to be something morbid. It's something so beautiful because every time we get on our mat and we practice, we're leaving some of what we no longer need behind. We're working through that on our mat. When we come to the end of our practice and we lay in Shavasana, we're dying a little bit more to our old self as we create a new and better version of our new self, coming into our highest and best, which changes from moment to moment. Making your way to your seated position, feeling the base of your body, again, reaching down, whatever seated position you would like to sit in for the close of class. And again, feeling that firm, strong foundation, reaching the base of the body downward, lengthening the spine and up through the crown of the head. Shoulders are relaxed. Bring the hands in prayer position to your heart center. Take a nice, long, deep breath in and out through the mouth, just cleansing breath. Good. We're going to inhale for Om, inhaling. Hari Om, Shanti, Shanti, Om, peace, peace, peace. May you be happy, may you be healthy, may you be safe, and may you live with ease and grace every day, every moment. Namaste. And always thank you so much for joining me on my mat.